As to Gregory McMichael. In the Superior Court of Glynn County, the state of Georgia versus Greg McMichael, case number CR 20000433. Jury verdict form. Count 1, malice murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, not guilty. Count 2, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, guilty. Count 3, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, guilty. Count 4, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, guilty. Count 5, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, guilty. Count 6, aggravated assault. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, guilty. Count 7, aggravated assault. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, guilty. Count 8, false imprisonment. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, guilty. Count 9, criminal attempt to commit a felony. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, guilty. This 24th day of November, 2021, signed by the foreperson. As to William R. Bryan. In the Superior Court of Glynn County, state of Georgia versus William R. Bryan, case number CR 20000433. Jury verdict form. Count 1, malice murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, not guilty. Count 2, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, not guilty. Count 3, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, guilty. Count 4, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, guilty. Count 5, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, guilty. Count 6, aggravated assault. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, not guilty. Count 7, aggravated assault. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, guilty. Count 8, false imprisonment. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, guilty. Count 9, criminal attempt to commit a felony. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, guilty. Signed this 24th day of November by the foreperson. Go ahead, have a seat. Court having read the verdicts and accepted the verdicts, anything from the state?
No, Your Honor, nothing from the state.
Anything from the defense?
We ask the jury be polled, Your Honor.
All defendants ask the jury be polled? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask each of you individually a set of 2 questions with respect to the verdicts that I have just read. If you could please respond when you hear your juror number. Juror number 1, you have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
Yes, sir.
Juror number 2, you have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
Yes, sir.
I can't. Okay, 2. Juror number 3, you have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
Yes.
Juror number 4, you have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
Yes, sir.
Juror number 5, you have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror number 7, you have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror number 8, you have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror number 9, you have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror number 10, you have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror number 11, you have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror number 12, you have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
Yes, Your Honor.
And juror 16, you have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
Yes, sir.
The jury has been polled. Anything further from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
From Greg McMichael?
No, Your Honor.
From Mr. Bryan?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, what that means with the court having accepted your verdict is that your role in this case is now at an end. What we're going to do today is I'm going to have all of you, the panel and the three alternates, go ahead and retire into the jury room. I'm going to address a couple matters logistically with you in the jury room once we get done here. But before we do that and before I excuse you, I do want to thank you publicly for your service here in Glynn County. It has been a long trial, and I appreciate the fact that you have been attentive. You've listened to the evidence, and that is what we ask in this court. It's a very simple ask in a very complex way, so it's appreciated. When we all got together, I say we all got together, when we got together at different times, I said that I was going to thank you a number of times and how I was going to tell you I do truly appreciate your time here. Hopefully you understand why I said that when we started. I do also hope that you got a little bit of an insight into what goes on in a trial and maybe understand a little bit more of how important it is for members of our community to come down and be part of this process and serve as jurors in this community. So again, thank you for that service. And I'll come address you all in just a moment. You're excused.
All right, for the jury.
And you watched it right there. All three defendants have been found guilty of murder for their roles in the shooting of Ahmaud Arbery last year. Certainly a polarizing topic. We are going down the list. A lot of charges, a lot of moving pieces here. But on day 2 of deliberations, the jury of 12 has found Gregory McMichael, Travis McMichael,
Right. It is
and
this court's
William
usual
Roddy
practice
Bryan
with regard to sentencing
guilty.
to go ahead and
Let's
give
listen
everybody some
back in
time
as
to
the
put
judge
together what
speaks
they need
once
to put together for a full sentencing hearing. I'm going to have to look at the schedule and see how that works with my schedule up in Chatham County and the schedule here in Glynn County. I'll get back to everybody about some dates and see what works with respect to dates. That should give everybody an opportunity to put together whatever evidence may be shown in aggravation from the state or mitigation from the defense. Hopefully we'll get to that in the next couple of weeks. Again, I'll make sure council knows what those dates are. That addresses the open matter then before the court. Anything from the state before we adjourn?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
From Travis McMichael?
No, Your Honor.
From Greg McMichael?
No, Your Honor.
And from Mr. Bryan?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the defendants then are ordered to remain in the custody of the sheriff, and we are adjourned. Thank you.
And there you go. Court has been adjourned. We want to recap. Gregory McMichael, Travis McMichael, and William Roddy Bryan all found guilty of murder there in Brunswick for their roles in the death of Ahmaud Arbery. The charges a little bit different, case by case, defendant by defendant. But there is obviously a lot of reaction. We heard some of that reaction in the courtroom. So we want to go now outside of the courtroom, taking you to the front steps of the Glynn County Courthouse in Brunswick. Marilyn Parker has been there for weeks, talking with people, activists, the family members, and she's certainly going to fill us in. We also want to talk to Tarek Minor, who has been anchoring our coverage, who has been following this case very closely since the beginning. Tarek, want to send it back out to you. What is the reaction? What are the emotions outside around you as you stand outside of this courthouse for what is a historic day?
Yeah, we're hearing a lot of cheers, a lot of happiness, a lot of relief from people who have been camped out here in Brunswick, Georgia, in Glynn County for the past several weeks at this case. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that Ahmaud Arbery was killed back in February. And if that video was not shot, no one would be here today. the jury would not be here today. That is, according to legal experts not associated with this case. A lot of the people and demonstrators here believe that this case would have been covered up. In fact, the district attorney who initially had this case has been indicted for not following through with the law. So a lot of the emotion and, a lot of the elation that you're hearing are from people who feel as if this kind of injustice has happened many, many times before. And here on this day, there was video to prove it. The jury looked at it. It appeared to be a very fair trial for both the prosecution and the defense, and also the judge in this case. And the jury came back and followed the law. So I think that's the emotion that you feel. And it's people from all walks of life. Locals who've lived here in Brunswick for years, people who've traveled from Virginia, who've traveled from Wisconsin, people who have visited here either for a day or stayed for the entire time because they saw what was happening when that video was released back in May. Keep in mind that video was leaked to the media. That video was leaked by an attorney here in Brunswick who wanted to make sure that the truth was seen. We want to toss it back now live to Marilyn Parker, who's joining us live. Marilyn, talk to me about the reaction you're seeing there in front of the courthouse.
Marilyn, I need that card.
Okay.
I can't.
Go right. I'll be right here. Go ahead.
I'm going to leave the camera with you and the tripod. How about I leave you set up?
All right, you're taking a live look at people outside the courthouse right now. And, it has been relatively peaceful, and now it continues to be peaceful here. But what you're seeing there is a lot of people who've been very anxious and just been waiting for this verdict for a long time and are just happy. Let's just listen into some of the audio, the nat sound, if you will, from the scene.
So we have several cameras outside of the courtroom right now, and you can see people are raising flags. We can hear chanting, a lot of celebrations out there. Obviously, this is a polarizing case, so not everyone is celebrating. There were people that came to the defense of the three defendants, William, Roddy, Brian, Travis McMichael, and Gregory McMichael. I want to listen in so that we can hear this chant. So obviously this came down just a few minutes ago. So the judge is still in the courtroom. The family members are still, for the most part, in the courtroom. But what we do expect throughout the coming hour, maybe two, is to see the family members of Ahmaud Arbery come out, represented by their attorneys. Some of these activists come out and speak about what they're obviously going to call justice right here. I want to bring back in our colleague, Tarek Miner, who has been anchoring the coverage out there, who is watching this from outside of the courthouse, Tarek. Certainly, I can only imagine there was a lot of tension and anxiety. What was it like shortly before that verdict was read? And what was it like when people outside actually heard guilty, guilty, guilty for all three men?
Yeah, it was quite a dichotomy. Obviously, very, very pensive, very anxious, and then a lot of excitement and elation, as you see there in front of the courthouse. We do know that the McMichaels family, we just received this information from the Pool reporter, Travis McMichael in court. We know Travis McMichael has a very young son, used to work for the Coast Guard and spent a lot of time on the water. He spent a lot of time with his family. We know that he mouthed to his mother, who was also in the courtroom, "I love you." We know that family of the McMichaels and the Bryans have been inside the courthouse, but have not really said a whole lot about this case. They have not been as verbal. While if you contrast that with the other side, Ahmaud Arbery's family, there's been a strong sign of solidarity from various religious walks of life, as well as people in the community. Again, so again, we're talking about these charges here, and if we could, we're going to go over some of them. And we know that William Roddy Bryan was the only defendant in this case who could be charged with lesser charges. And William Bryan was found not guilty of malice murder, and found not guilty of felony murder, and found not guilty of aggravated assault. However, William Bryan, who shot the cell phone video, has been found guilty of felony murder, 3 counts, also aggravated assault and false imprisonment. And that false imprisonment charge stemmed from Bryan driving his pickup truck and, according to prosecutors, attempting to corner Ahmaud Arbery, at one point almost bumping him, which all led up to this escalation of events that ended in the shotgun blast of Ahmaud Arbery, who was shot 3 times. The defense put on what legal experts say was a very good case, and so did the prosecution. But we want to take you back down to the front of the courthouse with Marilyn Parker, who's joining us now with more. Marilyn? Our live pictures again as you await the words from likely Ahmaud Arbery's mother, Ahmaud Arbery's father, as we look at that podium right there in front of the courthouse. This has been very emotional for the family. They had to, look at video and photos and forensic evidence of their son, who they knew was alive, dead. And many of us have seen the video and know just how graphic and how tough that was. In fact, this mother showing so much strength and so much grace and was able to maintain her composure and actually speak to the media about what she saw throughout the past 10 days. We want to go back to Marilyn Parker, who we believe is joining us now live. Marilyn.
There is a lot of chanting. So many people right now are expressing themselves after this verdict has come down. I want to go ahead and show you. Look, people are cheering and yelling and screaming. We have flags waving that say Black Lives Matter. I was a few people in the midst of the news. We're standing right here when the verdict came down. They were